Hey, Seth, your first one. Say hey, buddy. Did you? I didn't see your message if you did. Oh, shit. I alt-tabbed quickly to check Twitch, and then I almost died because of that. That's okay. Yeah, how are you doing, Seth? I think I talked to you in the afternoon. Actually, it was only because I told you I was going to stream that I decided to pop in and stream. It's on YouTube when you said it. Oh, okay. I see, yeah. Yeah, I was in the middle of setting up my stream a little bit ago, and then after I finished setting it up, then I pinged you. Figured you'd want to drop in. How are you doing this evening of awesomeness? I'm just showing off my not really new and improved build, but I've gotten a bit better at figuring out how to play this build at a way which I think is more optimal than how I was playing it previously. I have some gear upgrades to go over, which I'll talk about in a bit. The big news? What am I going to tell them about the big news? You mean the Burren? I mean, there's no one here to really tell it to, or I would have already talked about it. So, yeah, there's no one here. Or were you expecting something else? How'd the date go? Oh, yes, the date. Haha. Well, that's for me to know, I'm afraid. That's, yeah, I'm gonna have to keep that classified, dude. Who knows, it could have gone really well, it could have gone really badly. I can't believe you remember that from last time. Thought we were just gonna let that die out. Yeah, no. 1.8k health without battle orders. Yeah, well, that's just how assassins work. They are, I think, the second highest in terms of life gain per point in vitality. And my build doesn't use spirits either, so I can definitely save up a lot on points, strength. So yeah, I could very easily going forward hit 100 if I want, or sorry, 2,000 life if I want. It's just a question of when I want to do this, and the answer right now is not anytime soon, because I wanted to spend, like, I'll show you the upgrades I've made. I don't know, because like it took me a lot of time and a lot of theory crafting off stream to really figure everything out. Like, this is the thing, when I'm on stream, I'm chilling, I'm chatting with you guys, I don't really get a chance to really sit down, reflect, and think about ways to really improve. Like, I do think about this on the fly, but I don't ever really sit down for myself and really play around with lots of different things. And it's kind of nice to, it was kind of nice that I took such a like a week to, well, I mean, I was busy the past week, but also, like, I did have some time to stream yesterday, but I really wanted to really just sit down and really think things through with my character, and I experimented with a lot of different things, and this is what I settled for. I have a routine now as to how to play this character, and I have a lot of gear upgrades, so I'll talk about that in a bit. I'm also level 90 now, right now, almost level 91. I have been farming AT, of course. AT has been fantastic. Saw your claws don't match. I'm okay with my claws not matching, to be honest. That's totally fine. What matters more is what the bases on these are, like these claws are. And right now, Runic Talons would be ideal. Runic Talons with like +2 Phoenix Strike and plus the like Shadow Warrior or something like that. That'd be the most ideal combination. After that, I don't really care what else I get, honestly. Just those two alone would be insane. Yeah. Okay. Well, he's already dead. I don't know how he still managed to poison me. Metal armor with B topaz, but lose them with the claws? Oh, I see. So now what is this now? A beauty pageant? I mean, I guess. My man, you have noticed. You have noticed. Alright, so I want to talk about the upgrades. I was actually waiting to see if there were going to be more people who tuned in, although this is like, thing is, this is one of those unscheduled streams, so it's not really, it shouldn't be much of a surprise, I guess, that Yeah, like this was one of those unscheduled streams, so there's not nearly as many people at the start. I mean, usually when I do streams like back to back, then there's, you know, people are usually ready to show up even from the beginning. But no one really knew what day that I was going to be streaming, because I didn't really announce it. And even today, I'm not going to be streaming for that long. It's going to be a relatively short stream. I'm going to be done by about 7, so about an hour and a half's worth of gameplay is what I was going to gun for. In that time, I wanted to show you kind of what the progress I've made, and I'll probably have to do this a couple of times today, as more and more people show up and ask. But yeah, let's show you my upgrades. So the first big thing I wanted to say is I found this. Okay, I fucking found the Burr rune, and Seth. I mean, I know you know this. You were among the user miss. Hey, what's up? What's up? Good to know that I'm not going on a second date. Seeing serious. Oh, this guy trying to give me a hard time with my shitty love life. Anyway, so Burr rune. Yeah, so Seth is insisting that I take his jaw and make Enigma, but what fun would that be? I want to actually earn the last jaw rune. I want to, you know, right now I'm at Burr plus Ohm. I found it. Okay, so let me give you guys the lowdown on my finds in the last, I'd say about last 24 hours. Okay, no, last 24 hours I found Tal armor followed by Tal amulet. Before that, I think this was on Friday, I found a 3 BK, and then, or no, maybe I found it last stream, I don't even remember, but I had a 3 BK that I traded out for a Vex, basically. And then, of course, I found the Burr rune earlier this afternoon. I played a little bit, and I did happen to chance upon a Burr rune, and also this Jab Skiller GC. So the Skiller is pretty good, but this is the real big takeaway, this Burr rune right here. That's massive. I am half the way to Enigma, and yeah, that's looking really good. Now the next Jobless Home, so I'm stronger. Yeah, well, I mean, if you wanna really EP and compare, then I guess you're richer. Like all I'm at is Burr plus Ohm and a bunch of scraps. I haven't counted up my scraps. If I added my own other scraps, like in liquid currency, maybe I'd have Burr plus 2 Ohm, maybe. Burr rune, yes, Coaster. I found a fucking Burr rune. It is fucking incredible. But yeah, this afternoon I was doing some farming in AT. I've been really committed to AT the last week basically. Ever since I stopped my last stream, I decided to pick AT because it was really promising as a spot to dedicate this build towards, or to like dedicate the playstyle of this character towards. And yeah, so far it went pretty well. I was on, well, I didn't count from the beginning, but I did at least 150 runs, and then I think finally, after a streak of no purples, I found a Burr earlier this afternoon, so that was huge. I fucking hate you. Yeah, well, to be fair, you also had your fair share of purple boxes at this point too, so I don't know, man. This was my first big high rune in what, 2 weeks of gameplay. So I don't know. I think at this point it's pretty reasonable that I got my Burr. Yes, I am alive, Jamon. How is it going? And same to you too, user miss. How are you guys all doing? Hope you're having a lovely week. Just giving you guys the little update on where I'm at, and I wanted to show off this build a little bit. I have to go in about an hour, but yeah, so it's going to be a really short stream compared to usual, but I wanted to show you guys kind of where I'm at, okay? So, like I said, this was the first biggest thing. Not really saving best for last, best first, I guess. So this is the first big thing. The second thing I wanted to talk about is where my character is at. My character is now level 90, going like halfway to level 91, and this is actually pretty crazy. I'm quite happy with the amount of progress I've made. I've died a lot less lately, making some very steady progress to level 91, and this is all self-leveled. Like, I didn't really join any bail games. Like, okay, yeah, I did join some bail games with you guys. I joined some bail games with Corey. But by and large, the leveling process has been almost entirely off of MFing on my own, which I'm very proud of. And it's pretty awesome. Where did it drop? AT. As I was saying, I basically was like non-stop spamming AT over and over and over again. Not because I felt it in AT, but more so I just thought you know, I was trying to, as you recall, even from last night when I was talking with you, or was it the night before? I don't remember anymore. I think it was last night though. I knew that I was kind of like in quotes overdue for one, but yeah, I still wasn't expecting to get the purple. My sole goal was just to try and get the runs of AT in under 230, so that was my plan. And so this afternoon when I was doing more AT runs to follow up with that, and finally the Burr Rune dropped, so that was pretty good. T-strokes worth holding on to. Glad I kept mine. You might get a buyer for it, especially if it's +4 Jav and Spear skills. It's got minus 15% to enemy lightning res, which is really nice, but I think most people prefer Titan's Revenge because it's self-repairing, which, yeah, makes things a lot easier. I think it's got a larger stack size too, but anyway, look, that's besides the point now. So that's the Burren, okay? I was talking about my character. My character is level 91, or 90.5 basically. Close to 91. More levels is good. It means that I increase the damage of my Fists of Fire, which is a synergy for Phoenix Strike. And then, of course, I also increase or reduce the level difference between myself, or increase the level difference between myself and monsters in level 85 areas, making it much easier to hit them and more difficult for them to hit me. So really, the level boost has been pretty huge. The other big upgrade was the Tau armor. Now this was something that I didn't actually plan for. It was an epiphany I had, okay? Like, I'll be honest. Last night, I was farming an AT, I found Tal armor, and then later I found Tal Ami. After I found the Tal Ami, I was like about to put it into my stash, and I was thinking to myself, okay, I have a Tal amulet, and I'm like looking at my Skulders, I'm looking at my Tal armor, I'm like, what the fuck am I using Tal? Why am I not using Tal armor over Skulders? Like, Tal armor doesn't give the +1 all skills that the Skulders does, but it gives me, and it doesn't give nearly as much MF, but it gives me so much more survivability that it's insane. Like 40 cold light fire res, 15 magic damage reduction, and I can still socket it up to 112 MF. I'm just 20 MF shy from 300. I could easily hit that if I want to. There's a lot of options I have for hitting that, but at this point, I'm really happy with the replacement because my res went from being complete dog shit to actually being in the positives, pretty high up in the positives, thanks to this Tal's armor. This Tal's armor has been absolutely insane. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. So those are my big gear upgrades. And then of course the last thing, Nadja's staff. Okay, so this is the big thing. So I decided that I would start buying gold from people, and I did that. I started buying gold, and I also started selling gold, or not selling gold, but like selling items to get gold so that I could sustain my runs. I'm not the biggest fan of having to go farm gold or have to like scrap together gold so that I can replenish a Nadja staff, which is why I was hesitant to do that in the first place back when I had the Harmony bow. But the reality is that the Nadja staff is just way better in terms of mobility. Like if I have to teleport over a fucking cliff face, at least I don't have to run all the way around it, or I don't have to switch out my Harmony for Nadjas and then to teleport over the cliff and then to switch it back. Like, that shit was getting a little bit tiring and taxing, I'm not gonna lie. This is a much better alternative, like what I have right here. And at this point, it's pretty nice because with the Nadja staff, this is the last big update I have for you guys. I've really hit a point now where I can actually start doing runs in sub 3 in AT, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, sub 3 AT. I'm very happy with that. Now, granted, it's not like always. Well, okay, so pretty much. So here's the thing. If it's a really good map, I can even do sub 2. If it's a really good map with this Nadja staff, I can do sub 2. But usually it's a pretty, average map, and the average maps are... How should I say this? The average maps usually are somewhere around 230, and then of course the really shit maps I can do in about 3 minutes. And this is not factoring in the time it takes to repair. Oh, well, some actually kind of does. I don't really count too much, but yeah, just know that it's definitely better than where it was last time. That's I guess the main takeaway. from all of this. It's better in pretty much every regard. Like, I don't do nearly as much damage as I used to, because I subbed out some plus the skills, right? So I lost some damage, but the immense amount of survivability I gained from now having Tal's armor is just way better. It is a huge upgrade. Yeah, and that's as much as I can really say about it. I can start picking up items for gold again if you need free gold. Yes, but that's the thing. I am trying to refrain as much as possible from just taking free gold from people. I usually, well, of course, I try to pay for it whenever possible. That's you know, I've made this clear time and time again. I'm very keen on trying to pay for gold if I can, and I've been doing a pretty good job of it, because this is how my routine is. Okay, like whenever there's items, that drop on the floor in these AT runs, I use those items to pay for the gold that I'm looking for, right? Like just last night, I found an Aki along with Tal's armor and Ami. So I took that Aki and then I charged, I think it was 2 million for it. So it's a really good system. I'm very happy that I'm at a point where I can work for all of my equipment. That for me is really important. That's a huge part of my. It's a huge part of my journey, making sure that I'm not constantly relying on other people to try and carry me through the game. Like, yeah, okay, I can't do players 8 bales by myself, despite having this level of equipment, but that's, you know, that's besides the point. Okay. So, I'm going to do a run from start to finish now, and you guys are going to try to, or hopefully I can actually show you guys a 2:30 run. Yeah, 2:30 is usually my main goal. There are still some, like, there's also a number of different things that I observed during my time on my own too. I'm pretty sure that it's a like a server issue sometimes when I mistime my attacks. If I had any doubts about it before, at this point I am no longer in doubt, because sometimes, like, I notice my hits should be connecting, but they don't. And I was like looking very closely, and it's like sometimes I'm not in range to hit. It's kind of weird. If I run at monsters, there's like a slight desync period that occurs where I'm actually, like, on my screen I'm supposed to be in range, but I guess the server registers my position as being just a little bit away from that. So that's definitely, like, there's a couple of different factors that cause the desync. I think this is what I discovered during my my lone, or playing by myself here. Yeah, and those were some of them. It's called desync. Yes, that's true. So desync, I've talked about this a couple times, right? I've talked about this a couple times. Desync is one of the issues, but there's also this weird, like, that right there was a bit of desync. There's also a couple of other things that cause it. Like, I've always been trying to pin it on one specific reason, but there's actually 3 different factors that cause me to miss my attacks. Sometimes my attack is so slow and my range so short that the monsters will just barely move out of the range of my attack as I'm trying to swing at them. That was factor number 2 that caused me to miss sometimes. And then the third factor, well, I mean, okay, including the possibility that I just miss my attack, you know, because 95% chance to hit, right? Like, okay, fine, fair enough. But the other thing too that I noticed is that, how did it go? Yeah, okay, so the way the oh shit, almost died there. If I had my Skulders, I would have been dead for sure there. So, here's what I noticed about the about my gameplay sometimes, and I mean, I thought about it. It was a bit of theorizing. I had to really think about it. I noticed that the ping on the server, it spikes for me. It goes from, like, you know, usually it's about 30, but then it goes up to like 110, and it goes back down to 30. When it's at 30, it's actually like the difference is very noticeable between those two pings, right? Like, or those ping values, or whatever the fuck they're called. Like the thing is, when I'm on 30 ping, like, it for me, it's much easier to hit my targets. But if like it spikes up to 110, which it does sometimes, there's nothing I can do about this. Yeah, if it sometimes just spikes up to 110, then there's nothing I can do about it because yeah, yeah, I think what happens is I try to launch an attack. The game registers the attack when it's at 30 ping, right? And then if I launch another 2 attacks, then it actually registers those 2 attacks. But if at some point it actually spikes up to 110, or like higher than 110 or whatever, it'll actually cause the attacks to miss. So it's like, or no, it will cause the attacks to register, or not to register, because I switch off of Phoenix Strike way too quickly onto either Dragonflight as a finishing attack, or Dragon Claw. So desync is one of the 3 available problems. It's not desync exclusively, that's definitely one of the players, but it's yeah, there's 3 different problems here, from what my, well, playing on my own has taught me. At least this is kind of how I believe, like, what I think is going on, because, you know, it was bothering me. I'm like, okay, I guess we could just pin it to desync, but, like, I feel like there's more to it going on than that. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, that's that. What other stuff did I want to talk about? The other stuff was the routine I got down for these runs of Chaos, because in order to actually get my runs down to sub 2, or sub 3, I mean, or sub 2.5 or whatever, I needed to actually play around with a lot of different playstyles, like, because this is the thing with AT, right? Like, there's a lot of different ways to approach AT with this character, and I think this is one of those runs I'm probably gonna make it to sub 2.5, but we'll see. Well, I mean, I have to repair my staff on this run, so probably it'll be closer to under 3, but either way, yeah, so like I was saying, like, here's the thing. Depending on the packs of the monsters that I'm going up against, I have to rotate my spells accordingly, right? I mean, this is kind of a no-duh. But I've played around with it, and I realized that I can be a little bit quicker about. Like, I've been trying to focus on building up my speed. Like this is the thing about this build, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like the more I play it, there's more room to actually increase the efficiency of my runs. Like with the Nova Baller, you know, at some point it's like, or with like a Light Sork, it's like, okay, well, you know, you've kind of hit the skill ceiling. Like, there's not really much more to be learned from playing this build, because, like, okay, you can't really play it much quicker. Like, okay, maybe you could, like, be more consistent, or you could, like, get the seals more quickly, or what. But the thing with this build is the timing matters a lot, and so there's a lot of room for improvement. I realized, oh wait, look, Unique Ring, come on, SOJ, Dwarf Star, okay. How many runs have I done? I've done, like, I would guesstimate, because I didn't count from the beginning. I know I've done at least 150, but probably I'm a little over 200 right now. Yeah, probably over 200 that I did in the last, well, since I streamed last time. You know, I play on and off when I could, but I've also, yesterday I had a pretty long stretch of, well, not long stretch, but I was able to play for about, I'd say 3 hours, and I didn't want to, like, wasn't really feeling like streaming, so. Anyway. So, yeah, during these runs I focused on trying to get my run speeds down and experiment with, like, different playstyles. Not really playstyles, but just different rotations. And one of the big things I tried to work on was my reluctance to use rejuvenation potions. Okay, like, this is pretty huge. Like, this was happening all the time when I was on stream, and I think it was very, very clear. I was very reluctant to use rejuvenation potions because, you know, I'm a cheap ass with them, right? Like, if I have rejuves, I'm reluctant to use them because what if the packs don't end up dropping them later on? And honestly, I realize, like, the rate at which I'm doing these runs, I can very easily refill my potions Like, I don't ever really need to worry about... Unless I tell... Like, this has happened in the past, where I teleport into a fucking pack, and that... Or, sorry, 3 packs clumped side by side, and then I have to chug down, like, 3 or 4 rejuves back to back. Like, okay, fine. In those situations, fine, fair enough. I use up a couple more rejuves, but aside from that, yeah, there's really no... Well, there's really... At no point do I ever really sit down... Like, that was a 2.5 minute run. At no point do I sit down and say to myself, well, shit, I'm out of rejuves. I've never run out completely of a belt of rejuves in all the time that I've been doing these runs. Not, yeah, right? Like, even when I was chugging them down as quickly as I could at times where I felt they were reasonable, I was never running out. So, because of my decreased reluctance to use rejuvenation potions, my runs were a lot smoother, aka I wouldn't die as much. Really the only time, like, with the rejuves, when I would actually started actively getting better at using rejuves, which sounds ridiculous, but legit, like, this was a weakness of mine, and I acknowledge this. The only time I ever really needed to pop rejuves, like a lot of rejuves, were when, like, I was surrounded by, like, champ packs of monsters with, like, fucking, like packs like this, right? With, like, fucking lightning enchanted, cold enchanted. Was that lightning enchanted, cold enchanted? Yeah, he's fire, lightning, and cold enchanted. Yeah, anytime I saw something like that, yeah, that was always a problem for me. Okay, that was yeah, that shit was always a problem for me. So yeah, like back then when. Yeah, I would chug down rejuves for those monsters, like last night, and even then I would still not run out of potions, right? Like, even right now I have a full. Well, okay, maybe I don't have a full belt, but okay, now I have close to a full belt. So that was like one big thing. I spam them with no regrets. Yeah, no, and I don't blame you. That's honestly the way they're supposed to be used. But my, like, what I'm most worried about is that I might run out of rejuves, and then what happens if I run out of rejuves? But honestly, you know, I've never really thought of a failsafe for it. But the reality is, I don't think I've ever run out. No, sorry, it's not that I don't think. I just simply have never run out of rejuves doing these runs, because I gain them quicker than I can use them, or they're kind of in equilibrium, right? Like, the lowest amount of rejuves I ever had was 4, and then after that it went back up again, back to full, because, monsters were being stingy for a while about their rejuves, and then all of a sudden they decided to all take turns dropping it side by side. So yeah, basically that's the first, like, that's one of the things that I worked on, the use of rejuves. That was pretty important back when, yeah, that was actually pretty important, in terms of the success rate of my runs, which, okay, that was one thing. Now, the next thing that really helped my runs was how I ended up re-gearing my character once I got the Tal's armor. Ever since I got Tal's armor, I don't think that I've really... Okay, I haven't really come that close to dying. I died on one occasion, I'll be honest, but just once, which is a far cry from back when I had Skulders, where the runs were a lot more... See, this is the thing. It's not even just about the number of deaths, necessarily, but also, here's the thing. Like, the fear of death, or the fear of dying, is what causes me to play a little bit more safely. But if I'm a little bit more tanky, I can play a little bit more aggressive, right? Like, instead of having to let my merc deal with a monster that's fire, lightning, and cold enchanted, because those things would just kill me, I can now, instead do my own, yeah, switch to the statement there, kind of got me laughing. But anyway, yeah, so, yeah, I can play a lot more aggressive now, and without dying, and I can actually take part in doing the damage, and beyond all of these things, I can avoid using so many rejuves, actually, or because I'm a lot tankier, so I need potions a lot less now too. So that was pretty huge. A big part of my upgrades. Oh, you being dead all the time? Yeah, that was pretty obvious. Yeah. Where I farm other than when I get close to the scary man in Chaos. Yep, that's the guy. I can never remember how to spell his name. Fair enough. So you're done queue running for Vexes? Yeah, for the most part. I might return back to it if I... Like, right now, I owe somebody a gull, because we weren't able to break properly. They wanted to bin my BK, but they weren't able to. Like, all they had was an ohm, so we had to settle for me IOUing that person a gull, because that's the only way we could really get that trade to go through. So unless I decide that, yeah, I need to like get a gull for a specific reason, I'm pretty done with farming keys for the time being. Like, maybe, like, honestly, originally I was tempted, like, I wanted to run keys because I wasn't really making bank anywhere else. But before I caved in and did keys, I really wanted to buckle up and see if I could get these runs to a point where I could do them sub 2.5, basically, or sub 3. Well, sub 2.5 first, and then sub 2.5, and then now I'm even trying to push 2 minutes on maps that aren't complete trash. So yeah. And here we go. Miles, if you want to IOU me instead of them, that's fine. I'll find one. I'm not in a rush. I don't think he is either. He's a freaking cowing necro. And honestly, in the worst case scenario, if he really wants that gull, I have stuff I could actually trade out for gull. I've just been extremely lazy about it. Okay, so yeah, I got my bases covered. So now the third thing. In terms of improving this specific character. Okay. The timing on, well, maybe not the timing, but the choice of which skills to use. I've gotten a lot better at figuring out a routine for what to launch on which specific set of mobs. If it's one of the mummies, or if it's one of the zombies, then, you know, that are poison or magic immune, then I launch Meteor. Like this pack right here, this is a Meteorable pack. This is the fastest way to deal with them. Because they're slow and they're not going to be able to avoid getting hit by the meteor, so it's perfectly fine to drop a meteor on them. But these guys move around way too much to get hit by meteor, so I gotta actually take them out using Blades of Ice. And then of course the invaders, I gotta use lightning, because, well, to be honest, I could take them out using Blades of Ice too. But I feel like the Blades of Ice just doesn't do as much damage as Lightning and doesn't cover as much AoE. But Blades of Ice and Phoenix Strike Charge 3 are pretty good for when you're trying to hit like AoE of horror mages that are lightning immune. So I use that, right? So yeah, ever since I've followed this routine, it's been a lot easier for me to actually do these runs quickly. I've also been much more keen on using these. Hold on a sec. Let me just ID these. Come on, 41. Okay, you know what? I have 2 pairs of those already. I really don't want to hold on to those. So I've gotten much quicker at rotating between these. Oh yeah, and then of course if I come across 3 or more packs of monsters at a time, or if any one of them has conviction, then I also have to switch over to Fade. So there's a lot of scenarios for which I came up with a plan to deal with. Also because Dragonflight is... Previously Dragonflight was my only mobility skill, but it was also what I was using to reposition both myself and my Merc. So at this point, yeah, there's another sub 2.5 run. So at this point, when it comes to Dragonflight, I don't bother spamming Dragonflight anymore for individual monsters if I have charges up. What I do is I switch between the Naj's Staff and the Dragonflight, so it's much nicer routine. Yeah, it's a much nicer routine than previously, where Dragonflight was my only skill, and it was capped on a 0.5 second cooldown. So now, it's a lot easier for me to reposition my Merc using the Naj's Staff instead of having to use Dragonflight for... Like, sometimes I'd have charges already set up for the next pack, and then I'd have to give them all up because I needed to Dragonflight over, right? over a wall or something. This one isn't worth keeping. So yeah, I definitely made a lot of progress in terms of like theory crafting, experimenting, like playing around with different ancient tunnels. Like sometimes, like maps like these, there are no horror mages, and there are very few. Oh, I ran on charges. Okay, that's a first. There's also very few invaders. In moments like these, I can be a lot more. I can be a little bit more less cautious about which, like, rotating over to my other spells. I can just, oh yeah, okay, well there's some invaders, but that means that in these next few packs I can just, for example, start dropping Meteor on them. There you go, and that should kill them. Yeah, this run's gonna go a bit slower than usual because I ran out of charges and I don't want to, I guess I could go and refill at this point. Yep. Like I said, gotta not wait until the last second to release my charges. And would you look at that? I ended up getting 2 rejuves as compensation. So even despite not having Magistaff, it's been a huge upgrade in terms of what this build is capable of. Okay, yeah, but there's still sometimes that issue where I'll miss my attacks or whatever. Okay, there you go. So that was a 2:38 run, and that's despite not having access to teleport. If I had access to teleport, I think I could have probably done that 2:15 or so. So yeah, looking really good. Like I'm really happy with it. Is it a disappointment compared to something like a Blizzork? Yeah, probably. Is it satisfying as a viewer? Well, that's up for you guys to decide. But I'm really happy with the what I feel like is an immense amount of progress for a build that was originally thought to be complete dog shit. And even I was like, I mean, even I was thinking like, okay, well, this build just isn't really going to be capable of doing AT in under like 4 minutes even. But alas, here we are, and I can actually do it in sub 2 under the under some, well, assuming that the map isn't complete trash, then yeah. Ow. Mana burn is still an issue, of course. Pop the rejuve there. Everything you do is... Wow, thank you for this, Seth. As always, your support is much appreciated. Look, I'm not a disappointment all the time, okay? I'm like a disappointment maybe 99.9% of the time, but you can't just call me complete disappointment. Like, that's just not fair. But anyway, yeah. In all seriousness, yeah. I've been really enjoying the build in a different way. It's not like the same enjoyment I got out of the Nova Baller, which was just completely dumpstering everything. I like how this build is much more... It requires a little bit more... I don't want to say skill, but it's definitely a lot more challenging to play. Let's put it like that. And to get it in like good run times. And this is the thing. I've been running like AT, but I haven't really been running it in other places either. So yeah, I mean, it might be a completely different routine for pits or for some other area, right? I don't really think there's much to be said about Countess, but like Countess is pretty straightforward, so there's not really much to be said there in terms of like what rotations to use. But if I wanted to return to pits, I could totally do that. My main hesitation for pits is that desync there is actually a massive problem. I had all but given up on pits like since last stream, and I don't really regret that decision at all. Just because like AT is really easy to manage which is not something that I would have expected. Like, it's actually really easy to manage my character in AT. Not so much in pits, due to the desync problem being a lot worse there than here. I I think that has a lot to do with the monsters there just being a lot faster, a lot smaller, and yeah, the Fallen, like the AI on the Fallen is unique in that they will run whenever one of their comrades are killed, so that obviously causes me problems since I can't, well, I had to chase after all the Fallen, and sometimes here's what happens: they get stuck on rocks or other obstacles along the way on my screen, but in reality they've actually walked around them on the servers, on the server side. So then afterwards I'm swinging in air, and I'm missing all my hits, and that slows me down a lot. I don't have this issue as much. I don't have this issue as much here. Yeah, I'm still doing this. I still have this issue where I keep launching the wrong skill. Still... So I heard a bunch of hits. This should... Okay, and then sometimes that happens too, but I mean, there's nothing I can do about that bit of it. Where sometimes I'll just Dragonflight and then I'll miss, which okay, that in this case it's more a product... It's not a product of desync, it's a product of, like, I actually missed in the case of Dragonflight. But yeah, anyway. Also, I have been focusing on leaving the stragglers, which is a bit misleading because I call them full clears, but at the same time, I'm not really too keen on having to get, like, to chase down after one or two horror mages that get away. It's really not worth the time, I think, and acknowledging that is part of getting better at making these runs efficient, so... Oh yeah, maps like these are also super shitty. The maps where there's a lot of corners. There's some maps that just have way too many corners, but not enough open spaces. Yeah. Tight, narrow corridor. Third rare spiderweb sash day. I actually found 2 yesterday, funny enough. I wasn't too surprised, but still. A bit painful to see. I noticed that it's very difficult to get the third charge on Phoenix Strike sometimes. I cannot find an explanation for this, but I think that's the next thing I need to work on. I have to, if I'm trying to release Cold, if I'm trying to release Charge 3 on Phoenix Strike, I just have to swing as many times as I fucking can. Like, look at that there. I think that was my range being too short. Once I have Enigma, I need to use Enigma only, like, for moving around, because Enigma isn't just faster, it also allows me to reposition in such a way where I'm not getting fucked over by desync. Desync is probably the biggest enemy I've got here. And yeah, once again, there's very little I can do about it except for to utilize teleport and Dragonflight better, and also to get better gear like Enigma. Also, for some reason, yeah, so that's 3 charges. It took 4 hits to get 3 charges. I noticed that. Again, it takes 4 hits to get 3 charges. Okay, Health Shrine. Poison Res. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty rough one, because for some reason, well, there's two problems here. The first is, I'm not actually generating the charges that I'm supposed to be in any situation. The second is there's just too many fucking monsters. It's going to be a pretty slow run, I think. Oh yeah, and worse yet, like, the way this map is generated, there's monsters that are lodged in these small, these, I want to, like, yeah, these really small corridors. Once again, if I have a map where there's a lot more open space, it's a lot easier to do like a 2-minute run. But on the really shitty maps, it becomes 3, and then on the average maps, it's usually around 2 minutes, or sorry, 2.5 minutes. Oh, they've got one with 12 FHR. The hell? I wonder if I could actually use that. Although I think I prefer lifers because I plan to just go bow barb and not have to deal with FHR at all. Small charm. Fire res. Yeah, okay, 3 minute. This is going to be a 3-minute run, I think. And then I can refill my staff after, so. Good. Jewel, okay. Yeah, I think in the cases where monsters are running away and I don't have any charges, I need to learn how to dragonfly too. That's another another step I need to do. I need to better utilize teleport and dragonflight. Because if I dragonflight, I have freezing attack on my plagues. So if I dragonflight to something, I immediately freeze them, which makes it a lot easier to chase down monsters. Yeah. How many more charges do I have on this thing? 53. Okay, I got plenty. Okay. Yeah, like look at this. Having to go over the cliff. I don't even need to deal with that at all. Okay, so here's a nice map where I can probably... I'd say 230 on this one, it looks like. Okay, there you go. Okay, except for this is going to be annoying to deal with, of course. Okay. I've also gotten better at rotating Blades of Ice, so that's pretty huge. I don't know, there's a lot to take in with this build, but I mean, I've tried to cover as much of it as I can. Like, I definitely spent a lot of time trying to experiment with different things, and, you know, these were my findings. Of course, I experimented with other things too, like not using Blades of Ice, only spamming one set of Phoenix Strike, using Harmony for the longest time, of course, so that I wouldn't have to do any repairing whatsoever. But yeah, this is, as far as I'm concerned, much faster. Yeah. And this should kill him. So now I have one charge, so I'll teleport in first. Oh, there's a bunch of mages, so teleport in here. Oh, cold enchanted. It's a good thing I decided to pot up there, just to be safe. Almost operational, just need better gear. You mean my character or yours? Your assassin? I assume you mean your assassin, because yeah, this is your assassin. Yeah. How is your assassin doing, by the way? Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a chance to catch up with you today on that character. Ah, yeah, there you go. Look at that. 215 on the run. Once again, one of the biggest weaknesses still is that I still need to keep repairing this Nagistaff. The sooner I can get the Enigma, the better. That's why I left 3x4 open. Ideally, I would want to do 4x4, but I wasn't willing to sub out any of my GCs. I want the Geeds, I want the 3 martial arts lifers, and I want this because the thing's pretty clutch as far as cold res is concerned. Yes. So I've been holding on to all this. But ideally, if I could get rid of like 4x4, then I could probably self-sustain these runs without having to dip out. Without having to go and buy more gold. I could just perpetually sell items and then repair my staff. Sell items, repair my staff. Yeah, without having to buy gold. But at least this way the gold drain is a lot slower. This is still slower. Like, I'm still losing more gold than I'm gaining, but at least it's not like, okay, 25 runs and I'm done. What else do I want to say about this character? I wanted to update you guys on my progress. But I don't know if there's anything else left to say about this character right now. Oh yes, there's one other thing. There is actually one other thing. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is my magic find stat right now. And originally my plan was to do 400 MF into Mausoleum. I think I talked about that last stream. But I've decided to kind of abandon the idea of going for 400 and to sell for just 300 if I'm no longer doing Mausoleum. The idea behind me going 400 MF was that I was able to do Mausoleum with this character using 400 MF without dying, right? Because, you know, the monster's there. I don't really have to worry so much about elemental whatever the fucks, but elemental resistances and yada yada. But now that I'm not doing Mausoleum, I think I can push for 300 while maintaining survivability. I think those are the most important parts of the character right now. Particularly Fire, Cold, and Lightning res. I don't really care much for Poison res because Cleansing already purges that off, so I don't care much for that. But Fire, Cold, and Lightning, definitely. Having these, like... They don't have to be all 75s, but having them be greater than 0 would be ideal. While still maintaining 300 MF. And right now, if I wanted, I could just go a bunch of 7 MF SCs, and I could hit 300 like that. I could replace my Geeds. There's a number of upgrades I can do to hit 300, so that's not a problem. But it's not like I'm trying to, you know, do 1,000 runs of AT with 300 MF or anything specific like that. So I'm not really too concerned about hitting 300 MF specifically at this point. I'm just focused on keeping this character alive while still maintaining a decent amount of MF. And yeah, that's basically the situation. Okay, so you need a Merc too. I have no Merc. I need better charms. I need levels to wear my Drax, and I think you're also still missing an armor unless somebody had gotten you one. I know you were looking for a 500 base defense armor. I'm still looking for one of those, of course. Although personally, I don't really consider pits to be one of those, or AT to be one of those places where I'm going to be expecting to be finding such an item. You got your fort, you got your grief. Okay, wow, that's pretty awesome. Need levels to wear my Drax. Better stats on Torch would be cool too. Oh yeah, that sounds like a number of different things you can upgrade for sure. So that's exciting, very exciting. And of course, as always, I'm looking forward to seeing what the end product of your build will be. Yeah, dude. That's some good shit. Like, I remember the last time I was streaming, neither of us were anywhere near our completing our builds, our respective builds, right? Like, you know, you had your... I think you were at 1 ohm at the time. Like, you were at 1 ohm and I was at 1 ohm, basically. Or you were, like, at Vec, or maybe 2 ohms. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Like, it wasn't that much. And now, I think, a week later, now here we are. I'm at Burr plus ohm, and you are at... I think 7 ohms, right? So that's... It's pretty nifty. You're 12 ohms now. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, because the last time you messaged me on Discord, you said 7 ohms, and I think that was a couple... that was, I think, a couple nights ago. But then by the time I had gotten it, or by the time I really had a chance to reply, you had already messaged me in game. I think that was yesterday, in fact, or the other night. I don't know, one or the other. Days blend in. But yeah, and I know you said that, yeah, you were 3 ohms short. That's what it was. You said 3 ohms short from finishing your assassin. That's what I recall you saying, so I'm curious. Found no purple boxes, only item finds. Oh, hot damn. Okay, I see. Yeah, I think you said that you found like SOJ was one of your big finds. There you go. Okay, I'm pretty much done here. 238 on the run. Yep. SOJ, couple of skillergies. Oh yeah, hey, how much did you end up selling the P-comb for? I remember now. You were trying to sell that damn P-comb. You sold some 25s? Oh shit, that's crazy. You found those from LK? I didn't even realize you'd found items like that. Okay, that's cool. That just happened. Ow. Okay, so probably it's gonna be mummies as the next pack I take out, so. Yeah, one of the things too I want to work on with this build. Yeah, I want to actually get I want to boost up the number of plus skills that Fists of Fire has. At some point I'm probably going to respec and I'm just going to max out all three elements. Because I can actually use all three elements depending on what the situation I'm up against is. Hey Tristan, what's up? So Tristan, you were asking... Wait, let me pick up some shit. Like, I need to do this. Pick up some shit to sell. Okay, I got really lucky on that. I should have been dead there. I would have been dead if I had had Skulders instead of... Well, okay, if I had had Skulders, I wouldn't even fathom trying to fucking teleport into a pack like that. But with Tal Armor, I can afford to do it now. Did I find my burr, or have I been trading up to it? No, I found it. I found it just this morning. Sorry, not this morning. This afternoon. I was talking about this at the beginning when I was going over my character. Yeah. So basically, I was like, I've spent the last few play sessions trying to gain more experience at clearing out AT with this martial arts assassin. And it just so happened that earlier today, when I was just doing a standard run, I was on run I think 130 at least that I had counted, and then I got a Burroon to drop, and that's been my second purple box this season. I could hardly believe my eyes, especially considering it was a burr. I was expecting my next purple to be like a fucking low rune or like something like that, but no, it was the real deal. So yeah, respect token. No. I have a respect token. Thank you though. If I need a respect token later on, I can hit you up. But yeah, respect token I have. I kept a spare for this very reason. I wasn't sure when I'd need it. I figured at some point I'd want to respect my character. The other reason I haven't done it yet is I don't know what the effects of swapping out the number of skill points that I've put in Claw Mastery versus Fist of Fire will be. Because if I remove points in Claw Mastery, then my attack rating goes down, and it might be harder for me to hit some monsters. I guess it might not be a huge deal. Yeah, I think I honestly should respec. Yeah, I don't think that's much of an excuse. I lose out on like what, an extra 2-3% chance to hit, but I gain like not double damage. But hold on a sec. 2392, 2484. So I basically gain 100 per point. 100 per point. I basically gain 1,000 extra damage. I'm basically boosting my fire damage by about 50% for a lower chance to hit, or decreased chance to hit by about 2% or 3%, which honestly is a really good trade. I should probably do that. And that's in worst case scenario too. I'm pretty sure that. Hey, Bernie, my man, what's up? So you did end up, okay, so Coaster, sorry, I didn't address this. So you did actually sell your thing for 2.5. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I remember there was one okay, sorry, the season that I had my Pit Singer, I got the Burroon off of finding a P-comb plus 40 lifer. But I think at the time I think, who was it? KDK? I think KDK was the one who bought it off me. He bid so high because he wanted to. He was worried about competition from other people. So I think I remember talking to you about this the other night, and yeah, it's like if there's more people bidding on it, then it might have gone for higher. But 2.5 is still really good though. Like, yeah, it's like a straight up Sur rune right there. So yeah, good for you. So yeah, Tristan, that's kind of the situation with my Burr rune. Let me know if you have other questions about the progress. I talked a lot about it at the start of the stream, about the progress I made and whatnot, but of course I'm still always down to cover the build. There's Charcy than sell for Vex, yeah. Yeah, I know that feeling. It's kind of a slap to the face, like, to get, like, offers you consider, like, little too low, but I mean, yeah, I mean, some people just, yeah, they'll start off small and go upwards from there, so. What level am I at? Good question. I am now at level 90 point, well, I'm 62% to 91, so, yeah, you can see. I've slowly been, leveling this character. Yeah, I'd say slowly leveling her. Okay, before I get killed, let's drop a meteor. This should kill him. Just give it a bit. Okay, there you go. So, how are you doing, Bernie? If you want, I can go over some of the updates with my character. But yeah, it's actually looking pretty good right now. I am able to do sub 230 AT runs. Sub 2 in best case scenario, like really best case scenario, and sub 230 average. And of course, the trade-off here is I have to go and find a way to get gold, but yeah, there are people selling gold, so I should be fine on that front until I can get my Enigma, which I now have a Burr, so should be set. So this was a sub 230 run. Oh, actually no, sorry, there's another pack here. Didn't even realize. There you go. Okay, take this. I'm gonna go sell it. I've been grinding bail runs. I'm 40% through 92. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I was saying earlier, one of the, like, I wanted, to be honest, I think that with this build, if you want to make the most out of the character, the absolute first thing you should try and do is grind out bail games. Like, grind out bail games as high as you can possibly fucking go, like, because you need those levels. Like, it'll help you with your chance to hit, and you get more skill points, so you get more damage. One of the reasons I opted not to do the bail runs, or to rely so much on bail runs, is I have a lot more fun self-leveling, and trying to show, like, the process of actually trying to grow your character without having to rely on bail runs to do it. And also, I can't run my own bail runs, so that's not an option for me. Unless I join other people, basically. But yeah, that's pretty awesome that you've made it 40% of the way through 92. I'm probably going to be hitting 91 by the end of this week at a bare minimum. And then after that, I don't know what comes next. I probably will be pushing to 92, but I don't know. Well, I don't know if the place well, I'm worried that I'm going to die a lot in the weeks, or when I start, well, once I migrate out of AT. That's what I'm worried about. So good. What's the update? That's good to hear that you're doing good. So the update, well, there's a few things. So in terms of wealth, I got a Burr. In terms of gear upgrades, I got Tal Armor. And I was originally going to sell it, but then eventually I realized that this is actually an upgrade over Skulders. I lose +1 to all skills, but I gain a shit ton of res, and so because of that I can play more aggressive and my runs are quicker. In terms of where I'm farming, I've chosen to try and, I don't want to say master, but basically AT. Like, I've been spamming AT because I feel like this build is pretty solid for running AT. Like, okay, I can't do like sub 1 minute runs, but I can do like 2 minute, 2.5, which I'm really happy with. And unlike with pits, I don't have the desync problem to deal with, or I do, but it's not as bad. So yeah, that's pretty huge, picking out where I can farm. It was either that or running keys nonstop. I'm glad I chose AT because I ended up getting this Burin. And then, of course, finally, just in terms of general mechanics with the build, I've spent a lot of time. Getting better with this character. Yeah, I'm gonna fall for that one this time. Yeah, so in terms of like, I was talking about this at the start earlier, but I'm a lot quicker at rotating between which spells I need to launch for whichever fight I'm taking. So like, when I'm going up against mummies, I'm supposed to launch Meteor, because they're slow. And then when I'm going up against these invaders, I launch Lightning, of course. And then when I'm going up against the horror mages, I have to launch the cold. Like, I have to launch Phoenix Strike 3, and I also have to launch Blades of Ice, which I've also started using. So yeah, there's definitely been a lot of stuff that I've done in the last couple days. Like I've learned, or not last couple days, but since I last streamed, like I've gotten much more comfortable with the build. I've developed a kind of a rhythm on how to play the character. Damn, this might actually be like a sub 2-minute run. This is the kind of map I was talking about, which can be sub 2 if you have. Yeah, there you go, minute 39. I did leave some, like, you know, 1 or 2 stragglers behind, but yeah, like that was that's what I'm talking about. That's like a minute 39, like sub 2-minute run by quite a good margin, really. But once again, that's like a perfect map. Like, it's just one straight path to the chest, with, like, you know, packs scattered in between, and none of them were lodged between the fucking corridors of like here, basically. There were no monsters like stuck in something like this, because I have no good way to kill shit when they're stuck in corridors, narrow corridors like this. It's awesome. Where'd I get the Burr? AT. Like, my main goal, like I said, was to non-stop practice AT and get better at the rhythm that I wanted to have when playing the character. And it just so happened that earlier this afternoon, so it wasn't too long ago, earlier this afternoon, I happened to chance upon a Burin from AT, so that's the situation. Okay, here you go. Been farming so much with nothing to show for it lately. You found the 320 though. That's the thing I'm curious about. I know you still have that. Are you planning to sell that anytime soon? That by itself should. I mean, the last time a 320 showed up, oh man, that went for a lot, but I don't know if... I mean, that one item alone is worth more than the bank accounts of, like, a lot of players right now, so even if you haven't actually had much to show for it lately, I still think you might still be better off than a lot of us. So, yeah, I don't know. If that makes you feel any better, anyway. Maybe switch it up. Usually that kind of helps. Or maybe, yeah, switch it up and try something different. Like, you know, if Chaos really isn't paying out for you, because, I mean, not everyone could be tuber. You know, try running AT, or try doing some bales, or, I don't know. I mean, those are just options. I mean, not telling you that, you know, you should do that or this, but it's, it can be disheartening when you're running an area and it doesn't pump out anything for like a couple hundred runs, especially if you're farming like fucking cows, for example, which, you know, like meta areas or what. Okay, he's got Lightning Cold enchanted, so I'm just gonna back out before he explodes on my face. Yeah, that's good. It's sold. Pretty much just waiting for Corey to get online. Speaking of Corey, or speaking of, okay, so I didn't realize that it was sold. What was the final offer? I don't know why. I didn't actually see your post, and I've been looking through the posts on the subreddit, so I'm very surprised I didn't see it. What do you got? Two Enigma, 3 SOJs, and 2 Ohms. Okay, well, yeah, you're set. So 20. Yeah, that one item is worth like a week's worth of farming. So yeah, I'm not even too concerned. Like I said, you're donate. Oh wait, hold on. You're planning on donating that currency away to the community. Hot damn, dude. You are just too generous for your own good. Been farming WSK and Bale with Sin lately. Okay, that's cool. You know, sometimes when I have my own really long dry streaks for runes or for anything, usually I'll just sometimes I'll even consider running like keys because they're pretty consistent. It's like it's unlikely that you're gonna run a shit ton of keys and not come across a single find. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. Maybe that might be worth looking into if you really aren't getting anything at all in these areas. Damn, dude. It's fun having an ace in the hole when I want to farm. Oh man, this guy be like, it was too easy. I'm just gonna donate it to the plebs who need it. Yeah. At least that's what I imagine you're feeling right now, you know. I see how it is. You know, you're just trying to give everybody a chance, so that a fighting chance, because otherwise, be swimming in riches and shit. Don't do it; it won't be remembered. Well, he's doing it of his own accord, and you know he wants to do it. So it's not like he's expecting to be remembered. I imagine. Maybe he is. I don't know. It's fun with some stimulus packages here and there. Stimulus package. Nice, nice. Oh. Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. Come on, die. Legendary mallet. Okay. Alright. Pretty much done my run. See, 215 on this. Pretty solid. Still got 42 charges on my tele staff. You know, I could try to ration my charges so that I only use up like 23 or so per run. That's also, might be a good idea. Then I only need to repair once every 3 runs. But then again, I also pick up enough shit to sell, within 2 runs usually, so might not be a point. Here we go. By the way, I'm not going to be streaming for too much longer, like I said, since I do have plans this evening. But I did want to do a stream. I think I told you guys that I would try to sneak in a stream on Monday at least, and I also made a promise to Seth that I would stream today. So yeah, I decided to do it. To try to take some time to go and do that, so. Okay. Oh, extra fast, cold enchanted, lightning enchanted. I'm glad I read that quickly enough at the last second. As soon as I realized that, I'm like, oh shit, I should probably pop my potion or I'm dead. Yeah, I probably would have died if I didn't. I was planning on donating it when I got it, and chat went crazy. It felt like everyone was in on the find, which was amazing. Yo, that's awesome, dude. Like, I'm glad you felt that way. I think that's honestly much more... Like, there's definitely things in this game that are more important than the finds, right? Like, that feeling of, like, community, like, if you can get that, or just the enjoyment of, you know, I found this cool find, but I'm not going to let it try and impact my journey of playing the game, then, you know, good for you. I'm really happy for you. Because yeah, like if you this is one of the things, like I've never actually had an item like that, which has gone for 10 plus ohms in a bidding war. But I can only imagine that, like, if I were playing, I don't know, if I were playing my Barb, or this season with my Sin, where it's not so easy to get 10 ohms, and all of a sudden an item were to fall from the sky and I immediately get 10 ohms worth, then it might be... Well, it kind of feels like, you know, it feels so abrupt. It feels so anticlimactic. Like, you spend all this time farming, and you want to actually feel the thrill of making it up to the item you want, and then all of a sudden it's like, damn, it's all over in an instant. I imagine that's kind of how you felt, but most of the important things. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, you said you were running bales, and I remember I was theory crafting with you on how you wanted the character to look. How have you begun doing those like P8 bales like you were planning to? Oh wait, look, it's a Linemo. Could have been a or it's a sash. Sorry, a rare sash. Could have been a Linemo, to say. Oh, they're great. This Sin's amazing. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Oh yes, that's good. I'm glad that your Sin did and eventually turn out to be something you were satisfied with. That's awesome. Your favorite character? Wow. Oh, that's pretty legit. Can you pass over the link to that character again? I kind of want to go check it out, see what the progress on her has been, because I know you've been working pretty hard on it. So kind of. Ha. Or. Do you like LeBron? Oh man, you really went all in with that character, huh? Alright. Well, you even used your original, I think, name. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, over on my side, I honestly, I'm really happy at how much progress I've made with this character. I know I said that earlier, but like in terms of when I was playing off stream, I took a lot of time. Like I think like I'm gonna repeat this because you weren't here when I said it the first time. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out like the best routine or the best kind of like response for whatever situation I'm faced with, right? Like here when I'm taking on these plague bearers, I should be dropping meteors on them because they're so slow, and you know, with the other monsters I respond with other charges of Phoenix Strike, and now going up against those horror mages, I kind of want to start making it a habit to use Blades of Ice specifically, because this actually has a really nice AoE effect. So, there's a few things. Planning on using that FCR Ami and Stash. Okay, okay. Chammed Helm and a better rolled Plague. Okay, so let me pull up your character. I'm actually kind of curious about it. Just give me one sec, okay? Okay, so let's pull this up quickly. All right, one sec. So be like Bernie. Here it is. Okay. Wait a second. Be like Bernie is the... Oh, sorry, be like LeBron. There we go. Be like LeBron. That's the one. Alright, here we go. So, here, one sec. Okay, guys, so this is the assassin of Be Like Bernie. Oh, you have a 8 FCR Amiens stash. Okay, cool. I'm going to check that out in a sec, but let's just quickly take a moment to appreciate this amazing Hellfire Torch 1919 Assassin Torch. 1918-10 Annihilus, too. Hot damn. So let's take a look at this. Whew. There's a bunch of lifers and plus res. Okay, pretty standard. Now here's where the things get interesting. So he's got a bunch of trap skillers in his inventory. Okay, well, that's his inventory to start. His Merc is already at infinity, and he's with a treachery and a Kraken shell, e-bugged. And naturally, he is building his character as a Trapsin. So what he's wearing, he has Ondals so that he can leech XP more quickly. He's rocking Plague on his main hand with a Spirit. He's got Enigma, a 2 Assassin skills, 20 FCR, 20 faster run walk, 53 mana rare Coronet with 1 open socket. Wow, very nice. So plenty of res coming out of these, and lots of plus skills. With Alders too. I just realized this build has actually 0 MF, but I guess it doesn't matter much since you're mostly gunning for XP anyway, from my understanding. So basically, Bernie, Be Like Bernie's goal this season. Yeah, it is a really toasty sin. Don't look at mine as absolute shit. It's okay. I mean, yeah, when you have it as a finished product, we can all stare at it together in shock and awe. But yeah, 1 point kick is amazing. That's great to hear. But yeah, no, like, yeah, Bernie has really gone and made this character pretty legit so far. I'm just trying to think here. Yeah, so he was saying just now he wanted to replace his rings and his amulet, because he's got in his stash he has this. Well, he said he has a 2/9. Here you go. This one, right? Oh yeah, there you go. That's where it's at. Originally, I was looking at this 2 Assassin skills, 10 FCR, and I'm like, okay, that's probably the one he was talking about. But then I saw this. 2 Assassin skills, 8 FCR, 19 all res, and additional 5 to cold res. So the cold res, unfortunately, the plus 5% extra kind of rolled low, but the fact of the matter is, if he puts this on, he reaches 123 FCR, then he can sub out his Maras for that amulet, and then he can replace these 2 rings for SOJs, and then he can replace the in his hat for Cham. I think that's his plan. Then yeah, that's basically it. He'll have this freaking crazy ass motherfucking assassin or Trapsin with pretty much everything. I think though on Switch he would. Well, I don't know if he's planning to do this still. On Switch, I think he's planning to use Stormlash. I'm not. That's the plan. Also, reroll that terrible plague. Oh yeah, let me take a look at that one more time. That beautiful plague. Oh yeah, look at that. 3 lightning sentry, 2 to mind blast, and let's just take a moment to appreciate how he rolled 1 all skill levels, 13 cleansing. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, only the finest of rolls. Only the finest of rolls, you know? Like yeah, that looks awfully familiar. Oh, man. I feel like I've seen that roll before somewhere. But anyway, going back to the anti-perf. Yeah, I know. I joined the club. Only the best people roll that. Yeah, basically, dude. Me? You want to join a run with me for Throne? Like Bale run? What's the actually, yeah, probably in Bale you could probably do a lot of damage, I'd imagine. Bale? Okay, let's do 1 Bale run, and then I think after that I have to go. So this is gonna be the perfect way to wrap up. Maybe I can push 2, but let's go for 1 for now. Like just straight to Bale, right? Like Throne Room, or did you want to do something else? But yeah, right now using Ondals would have 1 point kick with a Stormlash, like you told me to do. Okay, very nice, very nice. Also, that's the plan. Also, reroll that Terrible Plague. 100% Storm Lash plus Medusa's Gaze plus Clegg Loss. Whew! That, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. That sounds toasty. That definitely sounds toasty. Go look on my hot date. Thanks. You don't even have Ancients done. Alright, let's go get your Ancients cleared out, and then maybe we can run quickly. Because after that, I can't really... yeah, I can't... yeah, I can't stay for too long. So, alright, let me make a game, or you make a game. No thank you. Actually, that's pretty good. Ah, damn. You might actually be able to for trade that. Because the thing is, I kind of want that, but Cold Res is the scariest one for me. And I already have 61 Light Res, which is fine. Alright, let's make this quick. And apparently... I was told it was cute by chat, okay. Ko22. Okay, cool. Alright, let's do it. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing your assassin so far. Good stuff, man. Hope that it will turn out to be a wonder to play. River of Flame. Oh, I see. Oh. Okay. What the? Okay, so he's going for... Oh! Oh, there it is! Whoa, shit! Yo, look at that! I don't have Harmony. Oh man, that's a natural run speed. Look how fucking fast he's running with that shit on. Okay, I am very tempted to start looking at your items right now, but I'm gonna wait until the finished product, I think, before I get a good look at your sin. So, whew, Werebear form, hot damn, dude, that is insane. Okay. Okay. Oh man, look how slow I can, like how slowly I kill shit. Yep, I did a lot this run. Yep, did tons. I was super useful. Didn't you guys see it? Yeah, that was the best. Alright. Alright, so now we got shit on too, don't worry. Alright, well now this is the real test. Can't wait to see this gear, his gear. Yeah, I mean I could check it out right now. Like I could just snap hack it, but yeah, I kind of want to wait. Like I know, you know, he's got his werewolf form, he's got or werebear form and so on, but he says it's shit. He says that, but reality is he's got freaking, he's got what, fort? He's got fortitude, or sorry, you got grief, fortitude. Don't even have your merc. Ah, so there's definitely lots of stuff there. So what I'm wondering is it okay? So I guess we can just. Oh, cool! Yeah, isn't that great? Got a nice pack of monsters here. Third Titans in 20 runs. Wow. Okay. Raining Titans. Definitely a slow process. I can tell you that right now. Utility Throne. Okay, cool. Thanks for the help on that. Saves me some charges. Okay, now let's see how this goes. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we'll get shit on. Alright, well, here we go. That infinity, man. That infinity, that thing being here is just like, it's just murder for those monsters. It's just so brutal. So much damage, it's crazy. Well, I can't even do anything. I got a chance, I got off maybe like 2 or 3 hits, and then they all just exploded. That was beautiful. Love this sin so much. Yeah, dude. Can't wait to see how it performs Players 8. Can't wait to see how well mine performs Players 8 too. Really looking forward to that. Hey, a shadow plate. Maybe I can sell some shit while I while I wait for the next wave. +1 Blades of Ice. Yeah, dude, when I get well, I mean, I'm still missing Enigma, too. But when I get both of these things, oh, it'll be pretty good. Or it'll be a big disappointment. Either way, I guess we're gonna find out. Conquest Sword. Any of you got monies? Yeah, I do have quite a bit. How much do you need, Coaster? Yeah, this is still the biggest problem for me. The Minions of Destruction. I can't seem to hit them, and they hit me pretty hard. So I think that's probably the... I still need a good response for that. I don't really know how I'm supposed to deal with them, to tell you the truth. Bale Quest would be nice. Okay. Well, here we go. We're going for Bale Quest. Build to shit with the other setup. Oh, yeah. This is another one of those cases, too, where I should probably sub out Claw Mastery for Meteor, because my Meteor, like, the more damage my Meteor does, the better, of course. There you go. Nice and done. Alright, cool. I think we're pretty much set. So yeah, there you go. There's that run we got to do together. Well, congratulations on your Bale Quest. Hope that helps you. I'm gonna just meal quickly, and then after that, I think I might have to jet. Okay, so can't wait to use this babe. It was fun. Can't wait to use this babe. So much fun. You have no idea. Oh, I believe that. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna meal quickly, unless Coaster, if you want to do another run or something. But I think you're good. I think you just wanted to get Bale Quest and to finish, or just to see what it was like to do a Bale run. And after that, Griefs. Yeah, you're good. All right, sounds good. I am going to. Thanks again, by the way, Bernie and Coaster. Fun stuff. I am going to quickly mule my shit off of this character, and then I think I should be set for next time. I was actually tempted to keep the burr on my assassin, but I'm worried that if I pick up some socketable items, that I'll end up overwriting. Not overwriting, but I'll end up accidentally socketing the item, or yeah, the burr into an item. That's what I'm most concerned about, I'd say. Okay, anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. Let's see. I'm going to show my wealth mule in a second, but after that, I think I'm pretty much set. So let's just sub this out. GG, yeah, same to you. Thanks for dropping by, Bernie. It was nice to see you. Once again, sorry, it was a short stream, but yeah, like I said, I could only fit in like maybe a few hours. So that's all I've got, I'm afraid. And next time, though, hopefully, I'm just trying to think when the next time I can maybe do a good long stream will be. It might be Wednesday. Might be. But otherwise, I'll try to find some time during the week to do another stream. But I can't promise anything this time around. Oh yes, right. I totally forgot. I kept this on my on this character. 3 open socket. Like I rolled for 3 open sockets in a perf defense ancient armor. Whew. That's a spicy item for them style points. If anyone wants to forsake min-maxing so that they can look like a baller, look like a G, you know. Well, anyway, I don't think I have any. Here, hold on. D2 base. Yeah, screw min-max, I want to look dope as fuck. Okay, well, yeah, there you go. That's somebody who can definitely use this 3 open socket ancient armor. So I had it hanging out there for. But anyway, yeah. I am pretty much good to go. Is there anything else? No, I don't believe there is. I've shown you guys all I needed to for the day. I'm actually kind of glad that I took a bit of a break. Or not really a break, but I hadn't streamed for a while, because now I'm able to show you guys the immense amount of progress I've made rather than the incremental, like trying to theory craft it as I go along. Because that's nice. And I did a lot of that earlier last week, but having some time to sit down and really figure everything out, so I can now do these like sub 2.5 minute runs of AT is pretty awesome. I'm really enjoying it now. Well, I was enjoying it before, but I'm really liking my AT runs right now. And it's a lot of fun actually trying to push the 2-minute mark with this build, with the Nagistaff. Once again, the only real drawback is the gold cost. I've spent a lot of gold on trying to do repairs. But yeah, going forward, maybe if I can find another high rune, I can get it one step closer to Enigma, or make it to Enigma, and then I won't have to worry about that no more. So, yeah, good stuff. And say 99 to 19 days. Whew. Damn. Anyway, guys, how much strength does it need? It needs, I think it's 100, and it is non-eth. Yeah, it is definitely non-eth. I wouldn't have kept it if it were eth. It is 100 strength requirement. Yep, it's 100 strength requirement, and it needs, well, yeah, there you go. Okay, guys, I think that's basically about it. Hope you're all having a lovely week. Remember to stay safe as much as possible from COVID-19. And wash your hands. Does it look toasty on Necros? I believe it does. I think, actually, it looks really, really good on Necros, if I recall correctly. I think USA goes breastplate, but, yeah, no, good, you should check it out. Like, yeah, just Google, like, Diablo 2 armor appearance, and then you can try to select a good-looking armor for yourself, okay? But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Yeah, hopefully next time I can do a longer stream, if I can manage it. If I can find the time for it at some point. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just filling you guys in on my progress and my character. It's looking pretty good, got that burr, and things are looking toasty, so. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me, though. Guys, thanks for tuning in. And you're gonna make Enigma in it, hand it over. What have I got here? What am I missing? Let's see. Yeah, GG's. Yeah, same to you, Bernie. Thanks again for popping in. I would take either a Mal or an for it. You choose. I'm just looking for, yeah, it's probably, yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, the last time I saw a 233 defense 3 open socket ancient armor, I paid a Vex for it. It was a season with my druid. I really wanted to look like a baller, but yeah, I don't think it's nearly so high. So yeah, Mal or whichever one you have is fine. What was it again? What do you mean, what was it? Can I see it? Yeah, sure. Let me go fetch it, and then we can make the trade, and then we can call it a night. I think that's basically it. Yeah. Best of luck with RNG, okay, guys. Hopefully the next time I see you guys, y'all will have gotten some good crazy finds. This is it. What am I buying? This thing. This is what you want, or this is what you're asking for, or what you apparently want to pay for. And I'm saying that I'll part ways with it for Mal or So yeah, make your take your pick, make your decision, or don't. You don't have to make your decide. I can hold on to it for you for now, and then you can decide later if you want. Since I know I'm gonna see you at some point anyway. But otherwise, yeah, I'm probably gonna. You Mal, but you can keep it. Okay, no, it's fine. You don't need to throw me runes. I'm okay. I can find my own. If you need something from me, I can trade you for something. But yeah, I don't need free stuff. No, dude, I'm talking about this stuff. I'm talking about this ancient armor. No, that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that though. I gotta go. Alright guys, thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully you have a lovely evening and have a good rest of the week. Thanks for watching, and yeah, this is DG2 signing out.